So this is very important. Key, study it, everybody. Study the virtues. Study the virtues. He who governs himself virtually will be like the polar star, okay? So this is very important. That was just besides language. We're going to stray from language just for 1 second until it just pops back. Food is light. In this you can see right, might, sight, powerful, or we'll leave this. So food is light, light is DNA. DNA is held back by food and water. The only way that we can consciously upgrade our bodies with light is by changing the way we eat. We've been given a standard diet, okay? I can see die written in that, okay? T is the 20th letter, but it also represents your strawman, okay? But we won't get to there too much, but that's why S and T are in front of strawman, okay? The S represents you and the T does. We'll get deeper into it. So the diet is basically putting yourself on the cross with what you're eating. T's also fold up into boxes. We've been trapped from every single angle, and this is basically the beginning of your soul's growth. If you've missed this, then this is very, very, very important.
In essence, our food contain the ions that activate DNA, which is why they have to condition us to eat certain foods and certain things in food, which is why they put some things into our ionic body. Fluoride in the water, making us eat meat and dairy and cheese, getting us addicted to the wrong foods because we're addicted to them. The reason for it is because they know it blocks your ionic DNA upgrades.
No light in
There's
meat.
no light.
There's no light in meat. It's dense. It's the most densest form of anything you can have.
Okay, I know a lot of people are not going to like this because, diet is probably the hardest program to break. I think definitely the hardest addiction we've been given to break. But it's so important. Until you break that cycle, that addiction, the light, you're going to have very, very little light within you. Very little.
We all want to be this
light. All in the food.
We all want to be this light body that we've all dreamt about, seen about, the spirit being, all those little, that dream as a child, having the ability to do things that we didn't think we could have and always dreamt about. Well, that's possible. Well, it starts with this. Honest, guys.
Cleaning your ions, cleaning your body, detoxing, changing your diet, drinking clean water, distilled water. It's a lot of effort and a lot of work, but like they say, nothing comes easy. You've got to, what you put in is what you get out.
Platonic retroduction will basically tell you that we live on Earth. What grows from Earth drops its fruit. We're coded to Earth, okay? So if it hasn't grown from the ground, it shouldn't be going in our body. If we want to have any sort of experience here.
True experience, reality.
Yeah, true experience. Because what we've been given is an experience from a creation of another, not within. It's about, this is, you get too deep.
In other words, it's pointless doing all the legal name fraud stuff and going after government and reclaiming land if you are not living by the virtues of this reality. If you're eating wrong, if you're speaking wrong, there's no point in challenging the government. You will not win. You won't win because you're living in a satanic paradigm. You're following the wrong rules, the wrong principles. So your magic spells will not work. The ionic sounds, or is it sounds, the frequency, the vibrations of what you're saying have got darkness. They're not light. So you've got no power. And this is where a lot of people are going wrong. So they've got the knowledge, the gnosis, they're reading all these books and they're going, oh yeah, I read this book and etymology and language, but applying it for something to actually physically happen is a different thing. Now we've been trying it and it's worked. We've done magic spells and they're manifesting themselves. But we know that we're managing to do that because our we're working on our virtues.
You will never get any responsibility or any sort of increase in ability if you cannot be trusted with it. And this is why this whole paradigm is set in such a way, because you have to go through all the levels of experience within this paradigm to go back to Ether Den, Eden, to create your own little world, you know? But we're here in experience now, and the only way it works is through this. This is the key. It works with virtues.
And also, energy does not discriminate, right? So energy doesn't choose. Energy goes where attention flows. So there are people who use the same principle. They are good virtues, but they can also be bad virtues. These are what we call the Satanists, right? Blood rituals, pedophilia, murder, right? They do those things because they're manipulating energy. They're doing magic rituals, dark magic, black magic. So they've got to put dark energy into their spell in order to get a dark outcome from that. Now, if we, as light beings, want to put in good energy into the universe and good spells and spell out good things and spell out a positive paradigm, we've got to put in good energy into us for us to output good energy as well. Energy goes where attention flows. Charity begins at home. So again, I'm going to say this once more again. There's no point in saying I want to change the world if you cannot change the virtues within you first. If you're eating dead animals and you're contributing to the death of other beings on Mother Earth, your virtues are wrong. Don't talk about changing the world. Change yourself first. And when you do that, you'll begin to change your reality around you, right? And the more you increase your virtues, right, the more karmic points, the more ions you're introducing into your aura, like we said earlier on.
Resonance.
The more resonance,
frequency,
the more of a magician you become. The more of a wizard you become. The more of a witch. Let's do witch. Next one. You become. The more of a witch you become.
Yeah, we can get negative ions. We need the negative ions out of the ground.
This is why we need to ground our feet daily, minimum for 10 minutes, because there's a negative discharge between us and the ground, and this is what people aren't doing as well. You get trainers to train you on your feet.
Let's do witch. We've been all taught to fear witches, haven't we? But when you hear the word witch, what do you think? Witch? Which one?
Well, you're going to think of a nasty person doing horrible things. Opposite, yeah.
Okay. Or you could also think of it as what? Which one? Which
sun or
choice?
Moon. Sun or moon?
Sun or moon?
Which?
Choice.
They're witches. They have a choice.
So the word witch comes from the word choice, switch.
So it's the same thing that they've done with like they do with most things. They make it sound like it's wrong and something else when really. Yep. The complete opposite, yeah.
Absolutely. Once you figure out how to alchemically, literally change the life around you using your spells and your energy, and you can manifest things physically, literally, you become a witch. You're able to create choice for yourself. Which one am I going to choose?
You'll be able to leave,
I'm a witch.
Leave and come back.
Oh.
That's where it comes from. I'm a witch. I can choose. Choice.
So basically I say, Martin, you're a witch.
Absolutely. But we're programmed to fear that. We're programmed to be afraid of it, to burn witches. When you find someone who can create their own reality, fear them. Burn them. We want people we can control. Not people who can create their own reality. Not people who can change the system using gnosis. Fear them. Fear someone who can create a witch or a switch. Someone who can switch the reality should be feared. Programming.
Again.
We did this word last time, okay? But realities, it's like an express for the subconscious language of ourself. It's real. 9 is the feminine 9, okay? It's the number of the subconscious world. Our subconscious is the only thing that's real. It's real subconscious ties. Reality is basically tied in with the conscious mind. And we've literally had our conscious mind programmed in a way that our subconscious mind projects this. So that is a very important subconscious word that you just see there. Reality is a real subconscious tag. And it's beautiful. Like, if you can really get to the depths and see that, that's amazing. Like, straight up beautiful. Like, real subconscious ties. And this is why number numerology, Pythagorean numerology, and Chaldean numerology, and all this stuff comes into everything. But it's not enough time. This is the spark. Everybody needs to just have their journey. Yeah, we speak language, but we study ancients. But our language is been written for us in this matrix, so it's for us now. Just as the Testament, the Bible is changed. So we'll talk about the Holy Bible a second, because that's just a word. Holy Bible, and it's a testament, yeah? So, literally, if someone said there's a hole or a holy hole, what would you think is a hole? Yeah? It's a holy, the hole.
Complete, full.
It's a void. Electricity magnetism. We live on the plane of inertia of a torus. Holy. Bi means two. Bulls. The holy two bulls. The sun and moon and the whole in this realm.
Right.
And the testament is a test for the mind. So depending on your level of awareness, it'll be dependent on how you decipher the Bible. The Bible is one of the most beautiful texts in the world, but there's so many layers to the onion. You just got to keep going, because it really is a test for the mind. The goal, I'm going to write some stuff.
Yeah. It's interesting, you just use that analogy, layers of the onion. Onion is spelled what? On ions. Layers to the ions, to the on ions.
If you have a sore throat, it's a good remedy to eat raw onions or turn your ions on to allow yourself to heal. Right, we're going to go to this one now. TUC. See that? Right. I break language down so different, I've forgotten how to spell. Right, so hallucinations, and what was the other one? The halls of Amenti. If you've never heard of these, then one day you will definitely cross paths with the halls of Amenti on your journey. The halls of Amenti is basically the ancient word for hallucination. The halls of Amenti is the halls of the mind, subconscious, so it's the halls of the subconscious mind. And this is where information is kept. And you have an awareness of the subconscious to be able to get the information from here. This will lead you wherever you need to go after you've connected all this. So
is it connected to the Akashic records?
This is the Akashic record, yeah. If you have an understanding of that as well. I won't turn to that in 1 second. So hallucination is the same meaning in our language as this, okay? The halls of Amenti. Hallucination. Hallucinations is the hall you see subconscious nations. The hall you see I is number 9. There's also I, etc., etc. Well, I is number 9 and represents the feminine energy of God, the subconscious nations. So we talk hallucinations and think it means something completely different, but it's literally the hall that you see the subconscious nations.
And this now goes back. What he's just done. 9. Tesla said 9 was the most important number in the world, didn't he? 9, the number of God.
3 and
right?
6.
9, 3, and 6. But 9 is God, right? 9 and I. Yeah. Oh, I is the 9th letter, and I sounds like the I.
And that's where the I has the dot.
So when you see those celebrities doing that, this is what they're telling you. We are now subconscious. We understand subconscious reality. They're not saying they're evil per se. They're telling you we now understand subconscious reality. We now understand the 9,
Beautiful.
the I.
Now we go to this. This is.
That's what they're saying. When you see the I on the dollar, they're telling you It's a subconscious contract. It's subconscious. Yeah. 9/11.
Now,
Even.
Twin pillars. Freemasonry. Explain this. Twin pillars. So 11 is the El even. El is God. Evening out the God within you. So this is a representation of the twin pillars, okay, in Freemasonry, which is.
Can I just ask something? So what you're saying as well is, it isn't just the words, it's the apostrophes, the dots, it's
everything. It's layered. It's the code is not. Especially English. That's why we said English is probably the most complex language to decode.
This is the one.
But it's the most beautiful language to decode because the truths, even though they're so well hidden, are a lot clearer to see once you decode it. It's easier to decipher.
So we've got 9/11, and the 11 represents the twin pillars of Freemasonry. The twin pillars are your left and right brain. Okay, your left brain represents the programmed, right represents the spirit world. Or the subconscious, okay? 9 is the number of God, or subconscious, okay?
Oh, right. So that's how it has to be 9 then. It has to everything right up to 9.
So what is this saying to you as a subconscious?
When 9/11 happened, what were they doing? It's a ritual.
It's a ritual. They are attaching a story to the subconscious to allow the twin pillars in your mind to either upgrade or downgrade, depends on your level of awareness. You either see it as something that is terrible, and terrible is the terrible, by the way, or you can see the good in it. I know that sounds sadistic, but it's all a stage.
In other words, 9/11 was created,
The mind control program.
not just a mind control program to keep us more controlled, but also to wake us up.
It's a twin pillar choice here.
It was a choice. So they said this will either wake people up or it will make them fall deeper into sleep.
Numbers 9 and 11. That's all it is. Subconscious twin pillar. They're
So
telling you-
basically, they're putting the little tests out and they're seeing what happens with the people.
not really the test. It's a part of the simulation. Like, you know, the Testament. You're in a scripture. It's a scripture. You have free will. So what you're seeing is everything unveil within you. Everything's all known in the subconscious world, but the conscious world, like, let's con chess, okay? Con chess. Chess is the chessboard in Freemasonry. Is con good or bad? I'm leaving it there. So 9/11 literally is something that has to attach itself to your mind, and it's help. It's helping you either progress or degress. You know, it's literally, that's all it's there to do.
And how many people were woken up by 9/11? They started questioning reality through 9/11. They realized that was an inside job, and it triggered them along that journey of starting to wake up. It was a 911 call to the universe.
Everybody goes to their house to stay in after they go to work. Nobody knows what actually goes on in the world. Nothing goes on. You're governed in your mind. Nothing goes on. TV's a script. Stop watching it. Turn it off and start living your lives, guys. Apostrophe that you said earlier, it's a word. It was a word that made me think, because even you said even apostrophes and etc. Yeah. So A, right? Post is after, yeah? Trophy. Just like post office, we're going to that one after, right there. We're going to office after. A post trophy. The trophy you get after, yeah? It's the trophy you got after something, yeah? And the apostrophe is always attached before the S or the T, okay? And I was telling you about the S and T represents you, okay? But this is an attachment, okay? An attachment is attached to the mind. So if anything's attached to the mind, it's a left brain thought process that keeps you attached to this physical world and allows the spirit to just keep degrading. So when you remove this, nothing belongs to you, and this is when you get your trophy. After you've done that, there's no attachments, and this is how deep language, like this, obviously get deeper than this, but this is how deep language you need to see it as. It's a post trophy, it's the trophy after. It's literally put before the S or the T. You can't. or
So this is
something.
why the exclamation mark. Everybody thinks that's like a full stop, like the ending, but it's not. You're in when you
No.
put an exclamation mark, you're actually inviting energy.
Home.
Yes.
Exclamation. You're no longer the physical. Clay. You're made of clay.
And when do you use an exclamation mark?
Usually when you're trying to make a point.
When you're trying to make a point.
Mm.
What is a point? Right? What is a point? You're trying to find a place. You're trying to find somewhere, a place, a point. You know, it's a place. So when you make when you put an exclamation mark, or when you exclaim something, you're trying to find your point. You're trying to find the answer. Right? So
Yeah.
question and exclamation, good things. Because you're questioning, you're exclaiming.
I go, no, it's positive. It's not negative. It's positive.
Positive.
So, post office law, yeah? Post office was the first court. Cool. So the post office, post we know from is after, yeah? Post means after. Post office is off ice, okay?
So basically, we've got no idea what we're saying.
Not a clue.
No.
Every word that you're saying is casting a spell into the universe, into the ethernet. So that saying that you hear all the time, people saying, be careful what you say, words create your reality, is literal.
Fuck it.
It's literal. It's not just a saying, an airy-fairy saying. It is a literal saying. So they've put these words in our English language for us to say them subconsciously, and we are creating this crazy, we are doing this to ourselves. No one is doing it to us.
No one's had an original thought.
But
No.
this, what we're doing now, is original thought. You can't teach this. You can't learn this. You can't be taught this in a textbook. This is
a tool for your
in a yeah.
Yeah, this is the tool, guys. This is the tool, man. So office is off ice, yeah? So this is when we get into maritime admiralty law of the sea. Justice is just ice. You've heard like you're treading on thin ice. When you get justice, you're just on ice. So you don't get in trouble or you don't get caught with a statute.
Just on ice.
You're
Oh
just-
my goodness.
You're just treading on thin ice, mate. This is just ice. A police officer patrols the off ice, yeah? So the waters, yeah? So,
Can I ask you something? If you're going to break all those words down, would you do etymology and cosmology then?
Beautiful. Yeah. So, that's beautiful, right? When you're on the waters, when you're on the land, when you're here on Earth, you're on the ship. This is why we use admiralty law, because this land we're standing on is inside the waters. Does that make sense? On the plane,
busyness.
right? The ice wall, the walls that separate the different realms, those are no man's lands. That's ice. You're on ice. There's no law in Antarctica. There's no law in the Arctic. Ice. There's no law.
The language has been based universally off sort of that,
Based off that. So when you get off icer, is someone who's patrolling something off the ice,
The waters,
off on the waters.
which is the law
An
of
officer
the sea.
cannot arrest you when you're on ice.
Right, ready for this one, guys? Ready? Driver, yeah? A D river. The river. A river, okay? You're in water. You're in a boat, for real. Like, they made the roads look like rivers. And cement is not cement, it's cement. It's sea mind. It makes you think you're in the sea. It's cement. Yeah? And this, I don't know if everybody's following this, but I hope one day you'll see this.
I'm sure they are.
It's
yeah.
cement. It's literally cement. It's
Sea as in the sea.
SEA ment as in mind. It's giving you the sea mind, and that's why you got river written in driver, because you're on the waters. So every time people are driving their car,
And D is the fourth letter.
yep,
And I did the Fantastic Four video. 4 is the number of form.
elements all together.
right? All the elements all together. So when you see that number 4, D, we are manipulating the form that you're in to seem like a river.
And redshift is to reform. R-E, rightfully establish. D, form. So redshift is to reform, to reincarnate. Blue shift is be luminous, bioluminous. The two lights entwined. Twilight. That's what you get. But,
Can I
yeah.
ask something? You're talking about the English language. Is it that this is just about the English language, or does this the same for everybody's language?
Every language.
Everybody's got the same.
Every language. And the languages they're not always a direct switch. So some words might not work in a different language because the codes differ. So whoever created the Greek language put codes in that language to deceive Greek people. But the codes are not always exactly the same as the codes in the Spanish language or the codes in Swahili or Chinese. But it's all coded.
What you speak is for you. It's that simple. Don't get confused. Don't worry about which Bible you're reading. The New Testament is for the new mind, and you must read the new one because it's for the new mind, new tongue, new language, and new way to speak. And that's why it's changed. People think it's changed because they're trying to not tell you secrets.
But English is special because English is the newest coded language of all languages. This is why English is probably the best one to decode. This is why everyone speaks English in this realm. That's why English is the number one language, because it's the business language of this realm at the moment. So if you can decode English, you can decode the business language or the spells, the main spells in this realm. Does that make sense?